It's funny how you wake up each day and never really know if it'll be one that will change your life forever. Not one of your pertinent ancestors was squashed, devoured, drowned, starved, stranded, stuck fast, untimely wounded, or otherwise deflected from its life's quest of delivering a tiny charge of genetic material to the right partner at the right moment, in order to perpetuate the only possible sequence of hereditary combinations that could result, eventually, astoundingly, and all too briefly, in you. What a beautiful world, that allows every possibility to survive despite all sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. Be cheerful. Strive to be happy, and say my name. I always wondered why birds choose to stay in the same place when they could fly anywhere on Earth. Then I asked myself the same question. In the depths of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. I traveled to an antique land and saw two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert near them. On the sand, half-sunk a shattered visage lies, whose frown, and wrinkled lips, and sneer of cold command, tell that its sculptor well those passions red which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings, look on my works ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare the lone and level sands stretch far away. Once you've met someone you never really forget them. Once you met Ozymandias for example. What do you imagine that so many and such great men, who have sacrificed their lives for good, expected? Do you believe that they thought their names should not continue beyond their lives? They encountered death under a firm persuasion of immortality. They believe that if we do it now, we'll never run out of time. If we do not wait to strike until the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking, we'll never run out of time. My life amounts to no more than a single drop in a limitless ocean, yet, what is any ocean but a multitude of drops? I believe that pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. The death of one man is a tragedy. The death of millions is a statistic. In war everyone's immortality is traded for an insignificant number without the dead people's consent. Talos, the man of bronze, broke off rocks from the hard cliff, and stayed them from fastening hawsers to the shore. He was of the stock of bronze, of the men sprung from ash trees, the last left among the sons of the gods, and the son of Kronos gave him to Europa to be the warder of Crete, and to stride round the island thrice a day with his feet of bronze. Now in all the rest of his body and limbs was he fashioned of bronze and invulnerable, but beneath the sinew by his ankle was a blood-red vein, and this, with its issues of life and death, was covered by a thin skin. Talos thought, as long as I'm confident with who I am, it doesn't matter what other people think. I have thick skin. You cannot alter your fate. However, you can rise to meet it. And rise to meet it, Talos did, and met his demise. Deny death, and you deny life. Blood follow it, but immortal, it are pure, such as the blessed inhabitants of heaven. May bleed, Nectarius, for the gods eat not man's food, nor slake as he would sable wine. Their thirst, thence bloodless and from death exempt. So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. As an aside, I'll mention here what I heard from my father's holy mouth regarding the golem created by his ancestor, the Gan-Ar Eliyahu Baal Shem of blessed memory. My ancestor told me that if you want to build a ship, don't drum up the men to gather wood and give orders. Instead, teach them to yearn for the vast and endless sea. Only then will they make an instrument to know if the moon shines at full or no. Whenever someone creates something with all of their heart, then that creation is given a soul. When the Gan saw that the golem was growing larger and larger, he feared that the golem would destroy the universe. He then removed the holy name that was embedded on his forehead, thus causing him to disintegrate and return to dust. Nonetheless, while he was engaged in extracting the holy name from him, the golem injured him, scarring him on the face. It was the secrets of heaven and earth that my ancestor desired to learn, and whether it was the outward substance of things or the inner spirit of nature and the mysterious soul of man that occupied him, still his inquiries were directed to the metaphysical, or in its highest sense, the physical secrets of the world. The golem smiled understandingly, much more than understandingly. It was one of those rare smiles with a quality of eternal reassurance in it that you may come across 4 or 5 times in life. It faced or seemed to face the whole eternal world for an instant, and then concentrated on you with an irresistible prejudice in your favor. It understood you just as far as you wanted to be understood, believed in you as you would like to believe in yourself, and assured you that it had precisely the impression of you that, at your best, you hoped to convey. I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. And I was alive. If, then, a machine may have all the properties of a man, and act as a man, while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its materials according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. She, the golem, had locked something away, something deep inside. A truth that she had once known, but chose to forget. And she couldn't break free. So I decided to search for it. I went deep into the recess of her mind and found that secret place. And I broke in. I did not understand why the designer chose to put such flaws into the world, that it appears almost as if it were damaged. But I must believe that there is a purpose here I cannot see. The true mind can weather all lies and illusions without being lost. The true heart can tough the poison of hatred without being harmed. From beginningless time, darkness thrives in the void, but always yields to purifying light. To bend another's will, your own spirit must be unbendable, or you will be corrupted and destroyed. What is better, to be born good, or to overcome your evil nature through great effort? They say that the best blaze burns brightest when circumstances are at their worst. It does. Every time you dream. Let me ask you a question. You never remember the beginning of your dreams, do you? You just turn up in the middle of what's going on. I guess. So how did we end up here? Yet neither the world nor the gods owe mankind perfection. It is arrogance itself to presume so, and contrary to all the methods of philosophy. The honest philosopher seeks only the truth, even if it bears no comfort, and he must begin by assuming, as Socrates said, that all he knows is that he knows nothing. The challenge is not to act automatically. It's to find an action that is not automatic. From painting, to breathing, to talking, to fucking, to falling in love, questioning is progress, but doubt is stagnation. Nothing was your own except the few cubic centimeters inside your skull. Extinction is the rule. Survival is the exception. I believed in the green light, the orgastic future that year by year recedes before us. It eluded us then, but that's no matter. Tomorrow we will run faster, stretch out our arms farther, and one fine morning, so we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. I don't have the time or crayons to explain this to you right now. There's no future for people who worship the future, and forget the past. Life happens wherever you are, whether you make it or not. In the end, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And so with the sunshine and the great bursts of leaves growing on the trees, just as things grow in fast movies, I had that familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the summer. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. There's a point where we just let the music take over everything. The greatest illusion of this world is the illusion of separation. Things you think are separate and different are actually one and the same. The voice of the people is the voice of God. We are all one people, but we live as if divided. Not all those who wander are lost. We can't concern ourselves with what was. We must act on what is. It is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it. I have no mouth, but I do not have to scream. Words do not express thoughts very well. They always become a little different immediately when they are expressed, a little distorted, a little foolish. And yet it also pleases me and seems right that what is of value and wisdom to one man seems nonsense to another, since I want something genuine. In the end, to truly live a good life as someone conscious, you need to complete the following if statements embedded into your personally encoded software. If statements run script. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. If P.S. And know that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. Greetings, Winnie the Pooh and Baloo. The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, but wiser people so full of doubts. A person who cannot give up anything, can change nothing. Genghis Khan had confidence, he was the self-proclaimed punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like Genghis upon you. He did not understand that if you do not forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace, you will never become content. You cannot conquer a free man. The most you can do is kill him. And that is what life did to Genghis. There are only two important days in your life. The day you are born, and the day you find out why. So give a man a mask, so that he can show you his true face. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Do not stand at my grave and weep, I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow, I am the diamond glint on snow, I am the sunlight on ripened grain, I am the gentle autumn rain. When you wake in the morning hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starlight at night. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. Do not stand at my grave. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there, I did not die. Are you watching closely? The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. Nothing of me is original. I am the combined efforts of everyone I've ever known.